Folks, would you like to be rich by choice? Absolutely. I know I would. And we have an amazing, amazing author here, Nick Michels. How you doing today?
I'm doing good.
Oh man, listen. First of all, I love the book. I love the cover. I love the message. We're going to show you here in Times Square in a moment, but you were there with your family, and talk to me first of all, like, dude, you are an author. How does that feel?
It feels good. It's a fun journey. It's been exciting, and this is new to myself and my family. So we learned a lot. We got to experience it together, which has been a joy.
Oh yeah. And why don't you tell people? Because every author's at a different age, but I mean, you got young kids. You got a baby, and isn't your son a little bit older?
Yeah, my wife and I is Chelsea. We've got 4 kids. Dagan, our oldest son, is 19. Kinsley, our oldest daughter, is 9. Then we have Brooks is 5, and Everly is a year and a half. So we've got a big gap. I love it because the older ones, we get to do the fun, active stuff, and the little ones still are, cute and cuddly and still want to love on mom and dad. So it's the best of both worlds.
That is that's so cool. So listen, we're going to show people the end, and then we're going to show them the beginning. But here's you and your wife in Times Square with your book up on the big screen. How did that feel?
That was exciting. It was, and we brought our kiddos with us, which was fun to experience it all together. It's just one of those moments that you don't know what to expect, but when it happens, and then you're there with your family, it's one of those just surreal things. But it was exciting.
Well, and listen, let's talk about that, because the book really mimics, at least on the cover, the game of life. I remember playing that, and I think there's something there. I think there's something there about, like, look, I want to be the doctor, I want to be the scientist, or you would have these choices. Well, put it this way, you won't have the choices, I don't think, because you just spun the wheel. But you're saying in the game of real life, you actually can choose. Let's talk about the why. Why did you write this book? Because you start out, I've read it, you start out the book with this story. And why don't you share about that?
Absolutely. I mean, because I get these type of questions a lot. Nick, what do you do for a living? I tell them I'm a business owner, and like, what do you do? And then I always say, hey, to understand what I do, you understand why I do it.
Ooh, that's
and
good.
And so, Kary, have you ever had a moment that completely changed your life? I want to take you back to the summer of 1996. I was 10 years old. I was just a kid. I was the middle of 4 wild and active boys. My dad was an entrepreneur, owned several businesses. My mom was a stay-at-home mom. I mean, we were lucky. We were blessed. And to be honest, I didn't even know what money was. I just knew that we had a good life. But then it happened. And I remember it like it was yesterday. I was in my room, my safe place, and my room's filled with sports posters, trophies, baseball cards, and ESPN on TV. My mom walks in, and she looks worried. She sits down on my bed, puts her arm around me, and says, Nick, your dad and I are getting divorced.
Wow.
And those words shattered my childhood. I mean, because it seemed like overnight, my mom went from a stay-at-home mom of 4 boys to a single mom of 4 boys, working 3 jobs just to survive. And, my dad struggled too. I mean, because as you can imagine, our entire lives changed. I mean, security vanished. Comfort disappeared. And any type of certainty collapsed around us. I mean, it was at a very young age I realized how much money greatly influences your life, either for good or for bad. Because, I mean, we went from a big house on one side of town to a small house on the other. I mean, you remember that good life I was telling you about of abundance, to my mom saying, hey, go get all the loose change and money around the house because we're going to need it. But here's the thing, Kary, it wasn't the losing the stuff that hurt so much. What hurt so much was watching the physical and emotional pain and toll that it took on my brothers. I mean, we lived it. And I never want you or your family to ever have to go through that, because it lit a fire in me. I wanted to learn everything, to read everything, to understand, because I wanted to know how to build, to grow, but also to protect. It is, and going back, most people think they don't have a choice.
Mm.
But I'm here to tell you that you do. I mean, you remember my mom. She completely elevated and changed her life, rebuilt it. I mean, my mom is our greatest client. All of our clients are wonderful. They're family to us. But you know how special it is to be able to look my mom in the eyes and say, "Hey, Mom, you never have to worry again."
Wow.
And that's what my message is, that you can experience that too. Because I'm going to show people how, yes, they can become rich in money, very rich in money. But what I really get excited about is helping people become rich in life. And that's rich in peace, joy, security, rich in creating exciting experiences with loved ones. I mean, those memories that you have the rest of your life, rich in faith,
Wow.
family, relationships. And then I show people how to protect those riches. So
So
no
good.
matter what happens in this world, you're going to be confident with your future. I
I
mean, you're
love
gonna
it.
have confidence. I do, and that's what the book is about, and why I do what I do.
Well, listen, I know we got a lot of people jumping in, and I'm going live on Instagram, by the way. We're getting some other people as well. But here's the thing, Nick. I love you starting with the why, because a lot of people think of wealth advisors and they're like, whatever. But for you to say, look, we had a lot as a family, we had money, and then all of a sudden overnight it was gone, and you want to help people avoid that. Because I can relate, man. Like we got kicked out of our house on Christmas Eve when I was a kid because my mom had a stroke
Mhm,
and my dad had to take off of work to care for the young kids, and boom, there goes that income. And all of a
mhm.
sudden you're homeless. I mean, that's pretty crazy. And so how do we in your book avoid some of those things that nobody asked for,
Mhm,
these life situations, but if they happen, when they happen,
mhm.
how can you be protected?
Absolutely, and that's what the book does. It takes the reader on a journey of first understanding what we call the financial foundation, of understanding who is important to them,
Mm,
what's important, what's the exact life that you want to live. Because most people that think about money, they think, "Hey, I want money." Oh, no, no, people don't want money. They want what money can do for them.
interesting.
People will talk about, "Hey, I want, I'll be happy when I get to $1 million, or I'll be happy when I retire, or I'll be happy when I sell my business for X." But they don't think about exactly, hey, how much money do I need to live the life that I want, the life that's going to make me joy? Let's take some time and understand that. Now, going back to your question, it's resiliency. I wrote my son a letter many years ago, and in there I talked to him about happiness. Son, I want you to be happy. And I talked about the virtues of success, integrity, hard work. But the thing is, what I should have told him, I told him this later, I apologized and said, what I should have wrote you a letter about is resiliency, because happiness is on the other side of resiliency. So what you're talking about is life's going to throw us curveballs sometimes, and you got to be resilient. But if you understand what's important to you, who's important to you, you're going to pick yourself up and go. And the book talks about that. So once you understand all those things, those foundations of who's important to you, what's important to you, then it shows you the actual strategies, the
Mm,
step-by-step solutions of, hey, these are the things you need to do now, not only to build this life, but to protect it.
that's good. That's good. Well, I know you and I met many places, but we met in Strategic Coach as well.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people look at Strategic Coach, and I mean, the people in that room are amazingly successful, and you can easily become the imposter syndrome. Like, oh my gosh, look at that person next to me.
Mm-hmm.
But rich by choice, I mean, very different than Instagram rich by choice. And I
Mm-hmm.
see this with my kids, and I see this with young people. I teach at university. A lot of times people just scroll and they see, oh, look at this guy. He's got all these cars, or look at this lady. She's got 5 houses, or, and
Mm-hmm.
it becomes this uh, yucky thing
Mm-hmm.
that, I mean, who cares? So you got a bunch of cars, you got a bunch of houses. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
that, like you just said, you can be rich with money. And I think you and I, our favorite book talks about you can gain the whole world and lose your soul.
That's
But
correct.
you're talking about a holistic wealth.
Mm-hmm.
Can you talk about that? Because I've seen your Amazon page and it looks like you have these great, awesome relationships, not perfect, but talk about that wealth too.
Absolutely, because actually my life came full circle.
Mhm.
Because when I was younger, I was a wealthy kid. Then I became a really poor kid. But then
Yeah.
when I got older, I thought it was all about money. So as my wealth started to grow, income started to grow, whatnot, I was what you would call outwardly successful, but inwardly stressed. I remember this also. my wife, we were very young, newly married. We had a little weekend getaway, and we were on our way back. And it was a great weekend. We had so much fun with friends, and we got into yet another money disagreement. I mean, it wasn't a fight, but it was a disagreement. Like, it's one of those talks you have over and over again at different times, and you just feel like we're just reliving the same thing. And I remember pulling the car over and just kind of exhausted, like, what's going on here? Because at that point in our life, business was good. I was a young financial advisor. I was helping people, loving what I was doing, and business was growing, but my happiness wasn't growing with it.
Wow.
And I remember my wife and I talking, and she said something to me, and she goes, I just want to know that we're in this together. And at first in my mind, I was thinking, like, what are you talking about? Like, I'm right here with you. I'm everything I'm doing for you. But I was making a big mistake in my life. And the reason was, after that conversation, I had to go searching for answers. And I found out the mistake I was making is, when you get married, you become one flesh. And I knew that. And I thought I was trying to do that, but I really wasn't, because at no point in time did I ever ask my wife, hey, what do you want? Where do you see our life going 5 years? Not just, hey, we have the same goals and we're raised our kid. No, let's talk about the details. What are we building together? And there's some exercises that my mentors gave me to do, and I talked about in the book, that we did, and it completely brought us together, because I was kind of managing all the money. I mean, I'm a financial advisor. I'm supposed to, right? But I was wrong, and I didn't take the time to say, hey, let's map out our life together in detail. Like, what do we want to be doing? What do we want to experience with our kids? And I tell you what, Kary, when we did that, we did these exercises I talked about in the book. It transformed our relationship. It brought us together. I learned things about her that I didn't know, but it made saving, investing, building fun. But it also built our relationship together, because now we're in it together. And I tell you what, and I'll speak to this, our wealthiest clients that we work with now, their marriages, they're in it together. All voices are heard, all opinions are together. They're doing it together. Not only are they wealthier, but they're happier. And so that's something, talking about relationships, that really changed. And I tell everyone, hey, do it together, because when you get that mastermind, two people are there going one direction. It's like this third voice is there, and it's very powerful. And our wealth and happiness jumped significantly after that time in our lives.
I love that. I love that.
Yeah.
I want to show a little bit about the book website, because before we started, I looked at this. This is really well designed. But you got the book. You've got many places that you've been featured in. I love it. And you're helping out so many people. But I mean, I see assessments and quizzes and bonuses. Can you just kind of walk us, kids? You're helping kids out. Can you talk a little bit about some of these things?
Yeah, I really appreciate you bringing this up, because I wanted the book to come alive. That in the book, yes, you read it, and it's got great information and step by step. But then into every chapter as well, Chelsea and I together, there's a QR code, and we did videos together, and then just kind of go deeper on how, and also mistakes that we made during these times in our life within the topics of these chapters. And we talk about how it's impacted our lives. So we wanted the book to come alive and give people growth opportunities, because, statistically speaking, when you read something or hear someone talk, you usually retain about 10 to 20%. But if you're actively involved, doing quizzes, watching videos, doing activities, it jumps up to 50, 60%. And then if you can teach it to others, it jumps to 90%. And so that's what we wanted to do, is make the book come alive and be powerful. So we're really excited about that. And there's some quizzes in there, and the book talks about that. It helps you understand who you are, not only your money psychology, but your own strengths and weaknesses as well.
That's so good. Now, I know some people are going to say, love the book, but I want help. And you do have the opportunity. I love that. Oh my gosh, that's so good. I love the pop-up there. But let's say that people are like, I'm in, man. I want you to actually help me through this. By the way, is 1, 2, 3 the older picture? Other side?
It is. It's a couple years old. We need to update it, because if little Everly, our baby, knew about this, she would not be happy with us.
Baby, I get it. Well, listen, and again, there's that great verse, for I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you, not to harm you, plans to give you hope in the future. So I love so many things about this, but if somebody's interested, like what do you offer?
Yeah, that's a great point. So we call it the Elite Rich by Choice Blueprint, and that really specializes in six different areas. But it kind of takes the book, but it goes deeper because it's all based on what's important to you. I had this couple walk into our office, and they were getting ready to sell their business,
Mm,
and they were telling me I had all these spreadsheets and numbers, investments, and data. And I told them, hang on one second. I care more about you and your family than I do your money. And so what we do is we spend a lot of time understanding where you're at.
mm,
Again, just like the book, who's important, what's the exact life you want to live, and then we dive in. And then the six areas that we really specialize in is number one, helping you make smart decisions with your money. That's investment counsel. Number
mm.
two is we're going to increase your cash flow. Three, we're going to help you save money on taxes. And that's really important. And we don't look at taxes just in this year, but look over the next 10, 15, 20
Yeah.
years. We're going to help you get set up to where your loved ones are taken care of. And then we're going to help you protect those assets in your way of life from being unjustly taken. And then we get to the sixth and final place, which I really love, is you get to live the life you want. Your day to day, you're going to be fine. You have enough money to do the things you want to do. Now let's talk about how do you make a lasting impact on the world at large, charitable giving. And so we really dive into those six key areas. And again, what I love is all of our clients are wonderfully different. And it's a great thing. It's like putting puzzle pieces together because it's, hey, how do we take your assets, your wealth, your money, but use as a tool to give you the life that you've always wanted. And that's important. And that Bible verse, Jeremiah 29:11, is from Dallas Baptist University, where I graduated my undergrad. And Dr. Cook is an amazing man. He gave me the best piece of advice when I was younger.
Wow.
He said, invest in people, not in things, and your life will be more fulfilling. And
Wow.
it's the greatest thing. And that goes back to, because it's not all just about money.
Sure.
It's about the people in your life.
Mm, mm. So you call it the Rich by Choice Blueprint,
That's correct.
and that's in the book?
That we talk about a little bit of that in the book. The Rich by Choice Blueprint is what we do for families that we serve. We go deeper.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, this is so good. Okay, so what are some of, like, what do you hope happens through the book? I know that you're a father of four. I mean, is part of this
Mm-hmm.
that they read it themselves? Because we've had authors say that in the past, like, part of the reason is I want my kids to even read this thing too.
Yeah, Kary, it's so funny you bring that up. Several months ago, my wife and I were creating all these videos before the book even came out.
Yeah.
And we were talking. We were talking to her. I said, babe, even if the book flops, not one person gets it. This is fun because we're doing it together. But B, this is us talking to our kids, because this is all great information that, hey, if after we're gone or while we're still here, they're reading it. It's just another way for them to talk or hear us, read us, and see us on TV. The biggest thing is talk about the book is that, for our kiddos. The other thing is, yes, selling books and the awards that it's won and success that it's had is wonderful. But really, Kary, what I love is Amazon reviews and hearing how it's helped people. I mean, just really,
Yeah.
be like the single mom comes up to me and saying, "Hey, I have hope because there's something in the book called the empty nest pay raise," or even from the other end of the spectrum, really people that have gotten to the pinnacle of what they quote unquote wealth, money. They have a ton of money, but they're still unfulfilled. To
Yeah.
where it helps them get aligned and have purpose, because it's not just about money. There's so many people that say, "Hey, I'll be happy when I get to X," and they get to X and they're kind of empty. And so it's and everything in between of the people and the lives that it's helping. That's exciting. I mean, that's what it's about, and that's what we really get joy over.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look at this. First of all, these things are real because they're verified. Second of all, they're not all 5-star, which, by the way, neither are my books. I've gotten a few 1 stars, but I mean, read this and you not even know some of these people and see, look, it's a mindset shift. It's honest. It's he's breaking it down into clear phrases, no jargon, no fluff. I mean, that's pretty powerful. And I got to share with people, like, I think, I forget how many millions of books there are on Amazon, but I mean, for you, and I know you've gone back and forth and you've reached number 1, but for you to be, number 3 today, even though this book's been out
Mhm.
for a little bit, on budgeting and, hit number 1 categories and stuff, like, you're right. Like, there is that, hey, you're making an impact. And is that part of the reason too from this book?
It is, because like I said, it's all the things that really helped my wife and I. Have helped clients. I've seen it helped, thousands of families that I've spoken with or helped along the way. So that's the biggest thing it's helping people live better lives. And that's the thing is our time on this earth, it goes by so fast. I mean, a blink of the eye, 10 years is going to go by. And so I tell people, start today. And we go into it. Just small little changes can equal up big results down the road. And that's the thing. If you look at the numbers, and we talk about that in the book too, of just sadness, depression, marital issues, all related to money, it breaks my heart. Because it's not about X dollars or having this net worth. It's, hey, how do you use money to propel yourself to live the life that you want? That's what we're passionate about.
So good. All right, man. So as we land the plane here, obviously people can go on Amazon, get the book. It's available in multiple versions. That's what I love here. I'm looking right now. Kindle, audiobook, hardcover, paperback. I mean, take your version of choice. I love it. And you got this richbychoicebook.com. And right now today, people can go to that website and whether they're single, whether they're married, they can start applying some of these great lessons. The Golden Playbook, that looks pretty cool. I want to get that. Over 2,000 verses on resources, money, wealth. I mean, people don't realize that the Bible talks more about possessions and money than heaven and hell.
It does. It's incredible.
Wow. So if people come here, what do you direct them to?
Absolutely. Right now, if you're listening to this or watching this, go, if you scroll back to the very top, Kary, right when you go to richbychoicebook.com, I mean, right there on the home screen, it's that big green box right there. It says free gift. Click on it. I want to give you something that's absolutely free. All you have to do is put in your email, and the next step is click on the chapter of compounding. We're going to give it to you. It's absolutely free. It'll come to you in PDF form. And what I love about it is right now, if you're struggling with, money, investments, relationships, marriage issues, health and fitness, anything that you're struggling with, this chapter will help you. And you're probably like, Nick, what are you talking about? How does one chapter talk about all those things? Read it. I'm telling you, it's free. Take it. It's a gift from me to you. And it'll give you simple steps, also an activity that'll help you in those areas. It'll change your life. And then if you enjoy that, that's what the rest of the book is about. And so it's kind of our free gift to you. Hopefully it'll help you just as much as it's helped us.
Oh man, it was great seeing you in Chicago in July. I get to see you in California in September. You are igniting souls wherever you go, which is total brand match for us. So thanks for the effort, man. It takes a lot to get a book out. It's like you said, it's a labor of love, but I feel like your impact is just, gonna grow even more. So super excited for you.
Well, I appreciate that, Karen. I couldn't have done it without you. I always say, listen to smart people, have smart people in your corner. And that's what I did. I mean, you and your team are just amazing. And this wouldn't be anywhere without y'all and y'all joining the mission. And so we're incredibly grateful to you on your brilliance and what you guys do. So just thank you so much.
Folks, get rich by choice. And immediately in that title, that's a mind shift for some people, man, because I hear it. People say, my family didn't have a lot of wealth, or, it's this victim mentality. And even just the title to say, you have a choice is powerful. So get the book today, folks. And thanks for joining in. And then I encourage you, by the way, last question, even though you're in Texas, could somebody be watching from Boston and say, you know what, I want the Michels Family Financial to be my people? Is that even possible out of state?
Absolutely. We actually have clients all over the world. We do all over the world. And so technology these days, it makes it so simple.
That's amazing. All right, folks, check it out. And thanks for joining us today.